I'm joined here by Gary Fee, president of Outside Sales Support Network, known as OSSN. Good afternoon, Gary.
Good afternoon.
Tell me a little bit about OSSN.
OSSN is a trade association within our travel industry, which I founded in 1990. And the whole purpose of this organization is provide education, training, and support for the home-based seller of travel. And in 1990, at that particular time, there was not any association out there that had a focus on the home-based or independent, or that time they called it the outside sales travel agent. And they were kind of left alone to sort of flounder in our industry. Some of them were they considered them the kind of the bottom feeders of our industry, and of course that's changed today. So that we started it in 1990.
Help me a little bit with the history of the transition between what was called outside sales agent versus home-based agents, please.
Basically, it's almost one and the same. Outside agents, as they were called in the early 90s, and they're still called that predominantly today, but now they have a legal term, and they call themselves independent contractors. They can work at home, and many of them do. I would say the majority of home-based agents, independent contractors, do work from a home-based environment. Though some of them may have a storefront, they may have a corporate location, and still be an independent contractor, maybe working through what we call host agency.
How are the home-based agents doing financially?
The home-based agents are doing phenomenally well in today's marketplace.
And how do they compare dollars and cents earnings to, say, somebody working for a brick-and-mortar travel agency?
Actually, in a lot of the statistics that are out in the marketplace today, they're doing exceptionally well. They're focused. They're leisure sellers of travel. And many of them have a niche, and they focus on that niche. And that seems to be where the money is, as opposed to maybe working in a storefront, trying to be all things to all people.
What are the most popular niches nowadays?
Well, cruise has been a big niche, but even the cruise market now is being defined and broken down into various niches. For example, a seller of travel selling cruises may have a family and friends type of niche, or maybe they're just holding weddings on board a particular ship. Those are niches within a niche.
Any others outside cruise?
Tours. Many of the agents are focusing in on various types of tours, whether it be an adventure type of tour, an eco type of tour, or
destination specialists?
Absolutely. In fact, I met a lady today, and she is a destination specialist. Actually, she's a wedding destination specialist, a little bit different. And she has been doing this now for approximately 1 year, and I saw her earnings today. She showed them to me of about $76,000. I say that's doing exceptionally well for a seller of travel that's focused on a particular niche.
To what degree do they network and support each other from the expertise standpoint? So, okay, you specialize in this destination, and I'm into adventure travel. You're into honeymoon cruises. Do they ever pass on customer inquiries in the specialty of somebody else over to them to handle?
This is where I think our association comes into play. Obviously, in our name, we have the word network. The Outside Sales Support Network, or OSSN, is a network organization that allows them to interact with each other on various platforms. And that may be on the internet into a bulletin board type of communique, where they're moving information back and forth on various topical contents, or it may be on a type of webinar, or at a show, or at a trade show. And a lot of them, when they meet each other within a network, for instance, let's say Gary Fee may be going on a familiarization trip, and I'm an independent home-based agent, and yourself may be a home-based agent. I would simply maybe put as a very simplistic answer, forward my calls to you while I'm out of town. So you're backing me up, and we have a common denominator here within our network.
How about pooling purchasing for negotiation purposes? There must be a ton of Hawaii specialists or Mexico specialists.
Many of them are doing that. They are getting together and they're almost forming like their own little consortia. And where they worked on a collective bargaining process by having more of the independents get together with a supplier. And there's something new that's happening in this industry, and I've seen this over the last about year and a half or 2 years, and that's where the home-based agency is becoming a home-based host agency, similar to their counterparts that you would find in a storefront, but they would recruit salespeople, being other independent contractors, selling their products and services, but being home-based.
And this is a result of not only the expertise, but buying power now.
Absolutely, because that host, being home-based, in this point of conversation, is that they have more people selling more product, which puts that home-based agency in the negotiation seat with the supplier.
If I want to be, or I am, a home-based agent, and I'm looking to join a association, an industry organization, for education, networking, etc. Are there others other than your own at the moment? I mean, I suppose they could join an association or travel, American Society of Travel Agents, or others, or
There are. American Society of Travel Agents is doing very well to recognize the home-based seller of travel. In fact, several years ago, ASTA, as we call them, American Society of Travel Agents, decided to come up with a type of identification code that a seller of travel that didn't have what we call an airline appointment to be recognized or identified by the supplier community as being a professional, commissionable outlet. So ASTA was an important pioneer in this area, which led to other developments for code assignments, and certainly the Outside Sales Support Network has come up with an IATA-based type of code, which we call TRUE. ASTA has theirs. It's called sellersoftravel.com.
And to join OSSN, what qualifications or minimum requirements in terms of years in the industry or some other requirements are there?
There are no requirements to join our association, and we don't have a threshold for sales, or if you're a neophyte coming into this industry, a complete novice, we would certainly accept you, because our focus and our premise is predicated on the fact that if you join this association, you're here to join because we provide various tools, educational agendas to help you succeed as a home-based seller of travel.